gonna lose. My time ran out quickly. I couldn't believe what I had said. I didn't deceive. Have you decided where you want to go? I'm staying right here. It's probably better if you disappear. The devil got angry and struck at my head. If I hadn't moved, I'd surely be dead. Have you decided where you want to go? I said, don't you touch me, protected by God. And that young sweet devil just gave me a nod. The devil moved on, she went on her way. Still I'm wary to this very day. Have you decided where you want to go? Ooh yeah! You better believe tricky, he's dealing in harm. To show up his beauty is part of her charm. Have you decided where you want to go? Have you decided? Do you even know? So, this is the first of this series of the show and tell segment that I'm sharing here on the Jeep Journals. This is the electric guitars round. I don't know how quickly I'm going to complete these because I'm not planning to do all of them in this space. It's sometimes exceeding 90 degrees. Close to 100 degrees outside, which makes it quite steamy in here. Anyway, this particular guitar I wanted to showcase, and I wanted to showcase it soon because it is another guitar that is controversial. So controversial, it was removed from a sale where I was selling it. I wanted initially to get the real Dean Rust in Peace guitar. This Rust in Peace graphic is one of my favorite album artwork covers, and it's off of the Rust in Peace album from Megadeth. The real guitar, you're looking at a replica right here. The real guitar is somewhere usually around $1,600 if I'm able to find it on a good day in great condition. This particular guitar is a replica, and it was sent to me directly from China at $300. The cost was $300, including this graphic, which is not as bright as the real deal. In fact, the real deal has additional details on the headstock that are not on this headstock. But for the purpose of displaying it and playing it, this is quite a fun guitar to play. I never have played a Flying V, and you saw that I had to play it in a unique position. That helped me to balance the guitar better, but I basically was holding the whole thing in a different way than I normally would hold this guitar. So I'm satisfied with having been able to make it through the song without making any errors. I'm happy to have this style of guitar to show to you just for grins. And in all of these cases where I'm showing you music and a guitar and talking about the Jeep Journals, what I'm talking about is a journey towards wellness and conservation. Health and wealth are things that go directly hand in hand with wellness and conservation. In order to be well, normally we want to take care of and nurture that space that's around us. Usually, we almost always have to nurture ourselves before we nurture something else to bring it to nourished, to bring it to a state of nourishment as well. So in order to nourish other things, we ourselves must be in a state of nourishment. And in some cases, the nourishment has been kind of watered down and sold to us in a way that only translates into dollars. In my particular case, I've been caught up in those same circumstances because, as you just heard, I'm showing you a guitar that I bought because I didn't have the available money to buy the real thing. Today I recorded another guitar, which was basically the real deal, purchased from a shop, Hilton Music Center, and that particular guitar was sent to me it was my third attempt to get a working version of that guitar. In this particular case, because I had spent 3 times as much to get one guitar that worked out to where I wanted to keep it, I was short several guitars worth of funds, which kind of caused me to compromise or shift my energies into something that was more reasonable. In this particular case, this is a prop. This is a stage prop. This is an opportunity for me to talk with you about something that I haven't talked with you about before. It's an opportunity for me to broaden my viewership, and it's an opportunity to attempt to communicate in a way where someone hears what I'm saying and goes, oh, well, you know, they're taking themselves seriously, but it's because it's about a serious topic. And for all of you who can recognize what I'm saying and how I'm trying to attempt to connect to a larger market, to talk about music, to make new songs that encourage the survivability rate of the earth by basically bringing sustainability to the front of the topic. These topics are so important to me that that's literally what I'm pouring my dollars into. And while I'm pouring my dollars into these things, I've run into situations where this isn't a designer handbag, but in a way it's a designer guitar, and there are real manufactured items and replicas. And this particular guitar is a replica. The replica doesn't have all of the details that the master-built guitar has. The neck is much fatter. It's harder to play because of the dimensions of the neck. But it's still something that a novice, someone like myself who is not a professional musician, can actually appreciate for everything that it is, which it's a fun graphic. It's a fun graphic, it's a fun shape, it conveys rock and roll, and it's something that helps me to smile when I see a picture of this art on the wall. There's something amazing about the art, the colors, the feeling of it, that really makes me to think. It makes me think on a deeper level. So, which is what this channel is here to help you do. So, thank you for watching this segment as I'm basically performing a show and tell episode showing this DHgate replica of a Dean Rust in Peace graphic Flying V, who would normally be played by Dave Mustaine from Metallica. So this particular guitar was made in China. It's a replica of that amazing Flying V that I'm talking about. But as you saw, it's every bit as fun to play and to learn on. So, whether this was the real deal or not, I bet somebody would get a kick out of appreciating this guitar besides myself. And if it's produced at a rate where someone who's going to be less careful with their guitar tips then maybe it still has a place in this world. Because as you look for this guitar on shops, like let's say at Reverb, and as you find this guitar with these pointy bits all over it, you'll notice that in many cases the tips have been either dinged, repaired, or completely annihilated because people are oftentimes running into obstacles with them. So the whole point is that in some instances, I believe that there is a market for a knockoff product. I've even thought about using the Dean Mako Glory that I have two of. I've thought about using one of those as the backup for my Dean Mako Valor. Like if I really want to take that out into a place in the wild, for an example, and play that thing outside where it might get dinged up or exposed to the weather, etc., maybe I would take that as my prop. And speaking of props, I think I've talked for long enough about the way that I think about these items, and maybe we've gone way too far off tangent in a direction that you can't quite follow. But maybe we haven't. Maybe you still understand that what I'm talking about is we're really trying to figure out a way to cost effectively manage the market. And that's basically what I'm showing you examples of here, so that you can also evaluate whether you yourself want to invest all the money into the channel that maybe wouldn't invest anything back into you, or if you want to invest into something that's going to invest back into you. In my particular vision of the future, I feel that we will experience a mutual relationship where we invest in each other in both time and appreciation. And normally that translates on this particular channel, and by channel I mean this whole segment, this whole YouTube segment. On this particular journal, on this journey, on this one page of this source, I think we focus more on looking at ourselves and reflecting on how to become aware of what's going on, and becoming aware to the point where we know what's in our hands at any given point in time, and where we know that we can tell a story from start to finish in a way that makes sense to another open-minded person. With those things in mind, I feel that our future economy will be based on the value that we provide to one another. And sometimes that value that we provide to one another is definitely in the form of joy. And so in order to experience those joys that one another has brought to the table at Show and Tell, we have to be able to tune into those stories and listen to what it is that's being said. So thank you. Welcome back to the Jeep Journals. Thank you for subscribing to this specific channel on this platform. I absolutely appreciate all of your assistance in completing these journeys. And again, thanks so much. Until next time, peace, love, and all that old school stuff.